Yay! Busy day. That's what it was. It was a really busy day. I had like I made a mistake when I was because I was making some tweaks or some changes to my schedule, my normal work schedule when I'm working with client appointments, and I was making some tweaks, and I accidentally opened up way too many slots in my day. So I had like 20 appointments today. So my brain is like my brain is like that right now, but I'm coming back down to like, chill level, because sometimes when I do too much, or like when I do too many appointments, which this used to happen a lot more in the beginning, it doesn't happen very often now, but when I have too many like readings, I feel a lot of pressure built up in my head. And it feels like my brain wants to blow up, but I'm chilling down now. Right before I got on, I had to go over there and I had to like grab a piece of chocolate because I needed something sweet. And so now I'm starting to get my energy back down to normal. Hey y'all, hey peeps, hey Lori, hey Holly. So if you want to go ahead and start posting your questions in the comment section below, go for it. Go right ahead, no problem. I'm gonna talk for a second, just kind of to chat for a second. So for those of you who want to ask me questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section below. I'm going to try to get to as many of you as I can through our time together. If you're going to ask me about like a live situation, make sure you're specific in your questions, because if you ask a general question, I'm probably going to skip you. I'm not going to spend time on that because that's going to take forever. People are always like, what do you see? Or, read my future or whatever. What are you asking me? That's like going to a detective and saying, solve a crime. What crime, where, who, what are you asking? So you have to be specific in your question, guys, so I can focus in and tune in and give you as much information as I can. And also, if you're going to talk about anybody else or you're going to bring up somebody else, make sure you're careful in the way you word it, because your comments are public and I'm not going to like suck them back if you guys say something and then it gets you in trouble. So make sure that you're careful with the way you ask your questions. For those of you who want to connect with a loved one in spirit, just let me know who you want to connect with and I will try to get some information or something that will help to get some messages across to you. It's not like they're right in front of me and they're not speaking, with language and words, and it's not like I can hear them in my ear. They're having to use a form of telepathy that they actually use with all of us. And with that telepathy, they're going to trigger thoughts, emotions, and memories within me. My job is to pay attention and figure out where they're going with it. So that's how that communication process works. Here's an example. It's the same example I use every single time, but it helps get the understanding of it. So if someone wants to connect me, if someone wants to connect with me, let's say their name was Sarah and they used to do stained glass for a living, or they were a stained glass artist. The way I would pick up on that is I would say, I've got an older female coming forward. She's showing me a letter S, so there might be an S sounding to either her or to someone she's wanting to connect with. It's a short S, not a long S. A long S is Samantha. A short S would be like Sean or Shane or Shia. And she keeps showing me a memory of when I was having work done on my house, and we had a craftsman come and make this custom window made out of old special glass. That's how I would see that. And so at that point, I would assume that you would put the pieces together and be like, oh yeah, that's my Aunt Sarah. She did stained glass. That was her hobby. She was known for this. So that's kind of how it works. So I'm going to give you whatever the pieces are. If we were having a two-way conversation, which we will be doing offering. So I'm actually in the process of working with my strategist, my social media brand strategist. So we're going to be working on putting together a series where we're doing this right now, which is what I've been doing for a while now. So we'll do, our Facebook Lives on Wednesday. We'll do our Instagram Lives on Fridays. But then on another part of the week, I may start to do actual individual mediumship sessions where I'm bringing one of you on, and on Instagram, I'm bringing one of you on and we're having a two-way conversation so people can see y'all, and I'm actually going to do the reading so that way they can see that part of it as well. And it's not just this one way as well. So I want to be able to open it up. I'm also going to start offering soon Zoom meetings or Zoom sessions where instead of you wanting to go and get one session with me, because it can be a little expensive and I want to make it affordable for everybody. So what I would do is the room would be filled with let's say 4 people or 6 people or 8 people. And with those people, they all, are going to be in the room with me in the Zoom room. And I'm going to basically be doing mediumship readings for about an hour. And so hopefully touching on every single person that's in that room. So everybody gets some sort of direct reading through the Zoom room, but it's not going to be just that person for that hour, because that way it's way cheaper for them, and then that way they can get at least some message or some interaction there. So I'm going to start offering those as well for people who can't afford like a full session, but they still want to have that connection as well. We're also going to be doing some free sessions soon as well, but I'm not going to talk about that yet because we still haven't worked out all the details. So there's a lot of that we're going to be working on for people who need to connect and who would never be able to afford some of those, especially those of you right now who don't have jobs. Y'all are probably going to need free services. So I'm trying to offer as much free stuff as I can while still supporting my business in other ways, just because I employ a team of 6 people. I pay 6 people. So I can't just, hey guys, everybody's not working, so I'm going to do everything for free. I still have to pay my bills, and I am not going to ask these people to sacrifice feeding their families and paying to sustain themselves because I want to give everybody a free life. So it can't work that way. But I'm trying to incorporate and give more stuff for free, so that way some of you who just cannot afford it and y'all aren't working, y'all can still get some stuff from me. Okay. All right. So I've been talking too much, so I'm going to go into this here. All right. So I'm going to just bounce around here. I'm not going in any particular order. Close up my computer here. I'm not going to go in any particular order, so I'm just going to be bouncing around here. Mary Avila. Hey, Ferny, any idea why I didn't get the role I interviewed for? I'm kind of sad about not making it and curious about my next professional opportunity or growth. I think it might have something to do. There will be another opportunity for you within the next 2 or 3 months, which is an odd time because I feel a lot of people are actually going to be affected for the next 3 or 4 months. So it's an odd time for you to get an opportunity with the role that you're looking for. But I do think that one of the reasons why is because I think that there was something that you just didn't have, or that they were wanting that just wasn't there. And it may have not been like, hey, Mary sucks, let's not hire her. It's more like, you thought Mary was good, you thought Mary was good, you thought Mary was good. Well, I thought Mary was good, but I really need someone that can do this or that has this specific ability or quality or whatever. So this is something that I'm looking for more for. So I feel it has more to do with the nitpickiness of things, and them going with someone that may actually be able to go with who might be cheaper, or who might be less costly for them. So I feel like there was a kind of a little bit of that not inner office politics that kind of played a role there. I don't think it necessarily has anything to do with what you were offering and that you were not good enough. You're good enough, Mary. Don't question that. But I think that specifically had more to do with just what the person was wanting for that role and what you had that they weren't able to match up with. So, Leisha Donne. Hey, Ferny, I have this weird anxiety around my daughter's well-being. Is there anything or anyone I need to be concerned about with her? I think that she just might be taking too many risks in her life right now, or she might not be paying attention and acting in ways that is just going to put her at risk for drama or challenges. So you probably just need to have a talk with her, or just, try to give her some guidance and support, because I think she needs to be made aware of it. And I think the anxiety is valid. I would pay attention to the anxiety. If I was having anxiety with my little sister, I would call her and say, hey, bitch, this is what I woke up feeling this way. What's going on, or whatever. I would definitely directly talk to her about it, because it's something that you need to use to your advantage to help her, not, dismiss it. It's there for a reason. But I think it has more to do with just her having drama stir up, or her having issues there as well. Hashtag Zoom room with Ferny. I love that. I'm going to steal that, Elizabeth Vega. That's awesome. I'm down with that. Zoom room with Ferny. Here, I'm actually going to snapshot that because I need to send that over to my person here. Okay, there it goes. All right, so Frankie Galvez. Hi, Ferny. Could you tell me if my grandma who has passed is still here with us or tries to connect with us? Of course, yeah. Frankie, she's definitely still with you. But I think that it's not like all the time, and it's a lot more in the beginning. Usually it's more in the beginning stages when someone's just recently passed, just because they still feel that surge of connection there, and it takes some time to transition it over. But I feel like she's already transitioned. She's gone to the other side, but she still visits and she still connects as often as she can. I think she's very busy because she's got a lot going on over there as well. I do think she's doing this. So if someone was having to drive her or run errands for her, she wants to thank this person for just doing so much for her. So she's acknowledging that. She also, I don't know, she's pointing to her head. So I don't know if there was some issues going on with her brain function or with her ability to comprehend, but she's doing this. So there might have been some things there. She's doing this like it's okay. So whatever was going on that was affecting her brain or that, she's trying to let me know that everything's okay or she's good about that. So there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging two necklaces or two pieces of jewelry that are religious, like crosses. So I don't know if people bought two or there's a pair, but I almost feel like I'm seeing a pair of something. So that's the way she's showing it to me in that way. She also is showing me a star. So if you see a shooting star or if you see a starfish or if you see stars, that might be a symbol or a sign from her. So keep an eye out for that as well. Also, there are two dreams that are connected as well. So she's referencing or validating those also. And there's a darker colored dog. I don't know if it's black or brown. There's a darker colored dog there that's also with her as well. Okay. Let's see. Abby Sable. Hi, Ferny. Anyone coming through for me? Any info about a future partner and or career? So let's talk about your future partner. I feel like your future partner is going to be very different from what you're used to in a good way. I also think that they are a bit of a smartass. I think there are going to be strong ties to them and the distribution of goods. So like, because I keep seeing the ships that go back and forth across the ocean with goods. So they may have work or be connected to work that does that. The individual's name might be, what is their name? I want to say I see a double L. So I want to say there's a double L in their name. Let me go with an E or an A. It may start off with an E or an A, their name, but there may be a double L in their name as well. Okay. I think that this may happen actually within 6 to 7 months. So that may not be too far from now. So you might not have to wait too long. I know, I don't think you know this person yet. Or I don't believe you know this person yet. Ginger Robin Bufford. Who are my spirit guides? You have a primary guide. It's the one that's making themselves known the most. Actually, you just have the one guide, which is interesting because generally there's like more than one. You probably don't need that much work. Your main guide's name is, I want to say it's probably something very simple like Johnny or Joni. But I'm leaning towards a male. So I'm thinking it's Johnny. So I'm thinking it's like a John or Johnny name for your main guide. It's funny because when he shows himself to me like, do you remember that? Who was it? Back in the day, those like handsome guys that like did movies or what is that guy's name? There's that one guy where he has like his hair almost like me, but he has like the sleeves rolled up and all that other stuff. I forgot his name, but that's what I'm seeing. That's the energy that I'm seeing. So he reminds me of that. Layla Arwadi Moody. Hi, Freddie. Is my mother-in-law trying to break up my marriage? I don't think she's trying to break up your marriage. I think she wants attention. There's a difference. I think that she just wants to... There's two things. She wants attention, which, that's... Some people can be like that. She wants attention. But I also think that she sometimes over dramatizes or just makes something bigger than it needs to be, again, in an attempt to try to get attention. So I think it has more to do with attention and less to do with the marriage itself. Now, granted, she has her opinions and she might react a certain way, but I think it has more to do with her getting attention and feeling special or feeling like she's something important or someone important, which she is. She's someone's mama. But that doesn't mean that she has the right to be a bitch. So I think that y'all probably need to maybe discuss that with her or talk to her about like boundaries. I think it's a conversation for boundaries, especially in marriage. Boundaries and relationships like that are hard. But I think it's just more attention wanting. Gabby de la Cruz. Hi, Ferny. Hope all is well. Today we had 4 cardinals come visit us. Who could it be and what was the message behind it? Thank you a bunches. I think it had to do with the grandfather figure because I'm seeing a grandpa energy. So I'm thinking there's a grandpa energy that's referencing there. I kind of don't want to answer this one. Sometimes when someone is going to pass, we start to get signs. There might be someone in the family who has been struggling or someone who hasn't been doing so well health-wise, and there might be indicators that they may start to be making that last transition or that last phase in their life. So what I would say is the cardinals may not just be a message of love, but also a message of we're here. We're here, we're here, we're here. And then number 4 might be significant in the connection as well. So I think it has more to do with that. But I think that there's a grandfather energy that might be connected to the bird who's trying to acknowledge being around or coming into the family to basically prepare people for the fact that, somebody might pass in the near future. I don't know how near. I wouldn't say that this is like tomorrow, but whenever I've ever gotten signs from spirit or they've ever told me, they've ever say, hey, Ferny, FYI, it's usually 2 months in advance. So it's not always like next week. So don't think that it's someone right away, but I do think that there might be some potential for someone to pass in the near future. Okay. It also feels like it's an older individual or someone who would have been having health issues. Nadia Aja. Hi, Ferny. I love your hair. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday, Nadia. Any messages? Any message from my grandma or spirit guides? Thank you. Your grandma, it's funny because your grandma is just smiling. She just wants to smile at you. She also keeps acknowledging, she said, thank you. I don't know if you are really picky about teeth or you've been making fun of your own teeth or you've been saying something about your teeth. Your grandma says you're fine, stop it. So I think she's just wanting to acknowledge you kind of being like, you can be a little OCD in those things, but she's like not wanting you to be feeling that way. She also, thank you. Your mother wants to call your grandmother wants to acknowledge your mom. So I think she wants to say hello to your mom or reference your mom. She also told your mom to not worry so much or to not be so afraid because there's a saying that she used to tell your mom when your mom was little, where it almost was like, when you can't change what can't be, it's almost, I feel like it's lost in translation because I feel like you would know it in a different tongue. But when you can't change what can't be changed, then all you can do is be at peace with it. Like there's some saying like that. And I think she's wanted to give that to your mother. She also keeps acknowledging dreams as well. So your grandmother may have come up or visited you in a dream in the last year or so. She also keeps acknowledging baby energy, which is interesting because that could mean that either there's going to be a new baby in the family or there's someone who might be discovering or learning that they're pregnant soon. So keep your eye open for that, okay? Angela Kempsey. Hi, Fernando. Will he propose to me in 2020? I feel like you're going to have 2 opportunities for proposal within the next year and a half. The first one may come up in August. The second one may come up in February or March of next year. So you might actually have 2 separate situations or opportunities for proposal, which I don't know why the first one wouldn't go through or what would happen with the first one where the second one would be the one that's taken, but it makes sense to me. Before my sister's fiance proposed to her, I had a vision that he would propose in front of the family on the holidays because I kept seeing a Christmas tree. Well, this year my sister had a Christmas tree up during Thanksgiving because she don't know any better. So she had a Christmas tree up at Thanksgiving and he didn't propose. And I was like, okay. And I didn't tell her because I didn't want to set her up and be disappointed in case I was wrong. So he didn't propose. But then 2 weeks later, he proposed. So he didn't do it when we were all there. But what I was seeing was the symbolic representation of him proposing at the holiday season when they would be spending a lot of time with family. And they actually hosted both of the holidays this year. So that all kind of happened then and there. So, but it was a symbolic gesture. So for you, Angela, I think that there's going to be 2 separate opportunities. And so I would say that if you're not already engaged by the fall, then you will be by early next year. Hey, Kaylin. Love you too, Kaylin. Jessica Gonzalez. Hey, Ferny, any babies for me? How many boy, girl, twins, and any messages from my loved ones? Yeah, as far as the baby message is concerned, actually, I want to talk about your baby, and I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna go to the conversation with spirits, but yes, one baby, 2.5 years. So you're about 2.5 years away from a baby or another baby. As far as loved ones are concerned, I'm seeing less family and more friends or connections. There's a younger male who passed away suddenly or unexpectedly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's questions around what actually happened. I also think this was not like a suicide. It might have actually been homicide. So there's a male who is wanting to reach out and say that he is okay, but there still may be questions around what actually happened. But he's just wanting to let you all know, or let his family know, that he's okay and he's safe. I don't know if you directly know this person or you know of this person through the grapevine, but he's almost acknowledging that as well. Also, an A name might be connected somehow. I don't know if it's his name or a name that he wants to address, but a name like Alex or Austin or Aiden or Aaron, there's an A name that's connected somehow as well. Okay. Christina Perez. Hi, Fernie. Any messages from my grandparents or dog Charlie? Interestingly enough, I'm seeing more the dog than the grandparents. I keep seeing like a copy of the dog. So I don't know if y'all had something made in the dog's image, or if y'all actually had like a stuffed animal made of the dog. But they're referencing, the dog is showing me like almost like a second version or a copy. So he's acknowledging that as well. There's also a picture with a heart on it. So I don't know if you made a picture of the dog with a heart next to it, but there's a reference to the dog in the picture with the heart. So just so you know that. The grandparents are there, they're okay. There are 3 grandparents there. So I'm assuming that you may have had 3 grandparents pass, or there's 3 grandparents amongst you that are in spirit as well. They're okay also. One of them is making fun of my fingers or my thumb. So I don't know if one of them, the male, was missing a finger or thumb, or there was something wrong with my finger or thumb, because there's a reference there as well. They're also... Okay, I'm seeing an image. I want to say it's a picture of you, and I feel like you have something around your neck, and it feels like a color band or something. Almost like, like back in the day or in the 90s when they used to wear those tight necklaces and they were like perfectly like fit your neck. It reminds me of that. So it might be like a pink or a purple or like a reddy color like that. But there's a picture like that. So they're referencing that. I don't know why they would be showing me a picture of you and not talking about themselves, but they're showing me that for some reason. So there's something there. Excuse me, unless you took the picture with one of them in there and they're trying to acknowledge this image with them, okay? Rosie Reyes. Fernie, my husband works at the airport. Do you see him coming out of the COVID-19 fiasco okay? I worry about his overall health. I'm not so much worried about COVID-19 with your husband. I'm more worried about his blood pressure and his cholesterol level, because he probably needs to follow up or just pay attention and do what he needs to do. He's a little stubborn, and he might be sneaking stuff in when he says he was being good and he actually wasn't good. So you might want to know that, or get on him about that. But I'm not so worried about his job per se. I do think that he might be seeing some time off, or he might have to take some extra vacation time or time away from, but I feel it would be temporary. I don't think this would be long term. Also, even though I know you said he works for the airport, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually gets a job with the city or the county after this is all said and done. So don't be surprised if there's actually a job change for him within the next year and a half. Pat Jacobs, need to know if you see my son around. The answer is yes. There's a younger child with him, so I feel like, because I'm seeing a young girl, so I don't know if there's a young girl that's also connected to the family, but that's passed, or a child, a baby girl, but he's got a little girl with him, so he's acknowledging that. He also keeps referencing the number 43. That's not a date. Well, it could be a date. I mean, January, March, or April. It could be April 4th, and he's acknowledging April 4th as being significant, or it could be the number 43 and something about the 43. I also keep seeing a cap or a hat, and I feel like there's a rip or there's a tear or something kind of is ripped off of it, but he's showing me something like that may be significant as well. He also, thank you, he's wanting to acknowledge your mom or make reference to your mom. So either he's with your mom or he is saying hi to your mom, and he's just acknowledging that. He also keeps showing me the letter L, like Lou, Lewis, Lee. There's an L name that he's referencing. So he's acknowledging this. I don't know if this is his name. He's probably acknowledging his name. If not, this is someone else's name or whatever. He's probably wanting to reach out to them or say hi or connect to that individual. So there's a reference there as well. He's also doing this. So someone might have made something in his honor, or there might be a made piece of jewelry or attached jewelry that might be connected to him as well. Okay. Monica Sherry. Hey, Ferny, any messages from my dad or my aunt Marguerite? As far as your dad, he's doing this, so he's kind of squeezing my throat a little bit. So I don't know if there was something in his throat that was affecting or really messing with him, or if he was having difficulty with this area, but he's doing this. So he's kind of squeezing my throat and making it a little hard to speak. So he's doing that. I also see fluid in the lungs. So he might have had some fluid buildup in this area or in the lung area. And he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps referencing, there might be a picture of your dad in like a really cool car. Like what I'm reminded of, like, you know how some people, they'll go to like a car show and they'll take a picture in the Batmobile or something like that. There might be a picture of your dad in some really cool looking car or unique car, because he's showing me something like this. He also keeps referencing Bambi. You remember Bambi, the movie Bambi with the little deer? I'm seeing Bambi. I don't know if there's something about Bambi, or that's a nickname, Bambi or Bambo or Bombi, and or there's something about deer, and you have like, it's gonna sound gross, but like I have an uncle who used to go deer hunting, and he always would keep like the leg of the deer and like all of that, which is, you know, kind of gross when I think about it, but I'm seeing that for some reason. So I don't know if he liked to hunt, or if someone just recently went hunting and, you know, killed a deer, or he liked deer meat, but there's something about that he's making a reference to. So FYI, he also doesn't want people having issues with each other in the family, or he doesn't want people to be at this time turning on each other. They need to come together, and that's the way he's putting it. Melissa A. Amaya. Hi, Ferny. I was wondering how my health is in regards to my cancer. So here's the thing, as far as your cancer is concerned, I feel like there's going to be 3 significant phases for you to get through. The second phase will be the hardest. The third phase will actually be the easiest. I feel like you're either finishing up in the second phase, or you're going into a third phase period where things should really start to look up or get better. But I feel like it's going to be a process. So it's just going to take some time. I do think this is something you can definitely overcome. Not only that, but I feel really strongly that you will. So what I would say is believe in yourself and just take whatever steps and you have to take to get to your goal. But I feel like there's a lot of optimism there for you as well. Okay. Also, you might need to keep up with your liver function, because your liver might be struggling a little bit, or you might need to address some issues that have to do with your liver. Okay. Eliana Noel Rodriguez, can you tell me about my past lives, if any? There's one, actually you were in Gettysburg, so I would say that you probably were in the Civil War, and you were a soldier, and you may have died on Gettysburg. So that's one, and if you ever don't like the sound of loud pops or loud explosions or loud like fireworks, that may be a reason why, because you might be getting that from some of that lifetime. I also feel that there was another lifetime where you, and this was, I wouldn't say this is in an Asian country. It might even be Japan, but this was like way, way before, you know, our current times. But you used to you used to piece together or repair boats. So boats that would have like leaks or boats that were having issues, you would actually be responsible for repairing them or for fixing them. So you did a lot of work there as well. Both of the lifetimes you were males. So it's an interesting thing that you were males in both of the lifetimes. Violet Rosario. Ferny, do you see me and my husband getting back together or have a chance to work things out? I feel like you're going to try. You might actually you might try twice. The first time, he might be more receptive. The second time, I don't feel he's going to be receptive. I think that you're probably going to have to move forward and find a way to let that go and to move forward in a different direction. Because I feel like even after the second attempt, I feel like he's just not going to be wanting to, or he's just going to decide not to. So you might have to come to that. I'm not saying you shouldn't try. Go ahead and give it a go if you really want to make that work. But I that's what I'm seeing as far as the circumstances around that. Maya Smith. Maya's one of my students. My mom and dad passed when I was younger. Do they have any messages for my twin sister and I? There's a picture of both of you, and in the picture, which now I understand why there's two Facebook things, because I was like, where are the two of you? So what they're showing me is a picture. I don't know if you both were in like the chairs, when babies are in those chairs and they're eating or whatever, you both were in chairs like that, or you both were in these swings or whatever. But there's a picture of both of you as children in this. And I want to say that one of the parents might even be in the picture, and the other one may be taking the picture. But there's a reference there with this picture, this image, because they're showing me that. So if y'all have that, I think they're wanting to acknowledge, y'all are their babies, and y'all will always be their babies. Also, your dad is doing something funny. He's doing this with his teeth, but I feel like I want to show you my bottom teeth. I want to show you my bottom teeth. So he's doing that. And he's like this. He's like this. So he's making this gesture with the bottom teeth. I don't know if something affected his jaw or there was something that affected this area of his mouth, and it was really, really impactful to him. But he's showing me that. So there's a reference there as well. He's also showing me the number 2 and the number 9. So there might be a connection with them in the number 2, which would be the second of a month or February, and the number 9, which would be the month of September or the 9th of a month. So there might be a connection there as well. Also, sunflowers are going to be a sign from them, or sunflowers are going to be significant. So don't be surprised if you have experiences with sunflowers. Also, feathers and birds are also going to be another sign from them as well. Okay. One of them is they're doing this. There might be a baby coming into the picture in the near future, or there might be a new baby coming into the family, even if it's not directly for you two, but they're acknowledging babies. So there might be a new baby coming in. Okay. Carol Dalton Witkowski. Is my mom's health okay? She is still here. I feel like with your mom, I want her to keep an eye out for her respiratory system, and which makes sense because, people need to be careful with their respiratory system, especially right now. So I'm a little concerned about her respiratory system, but I also feel that she might have fluid retention issues where she might start to have swelling in her legs or swelling in areas of her body, which is fluid building up. She probably needs to follow up with a specialist because there might be some issues with her heart she needs to pay attention to or follow up with a specialist. So there may be something though that y'all may need to look into. Okay. Patricia Santa Maria. My ex-husband, Ray, he passed. So when I tune into your ex-husband, Ray, it's funny because I don't know if there's a picture of him with a mullet when he was younger, or there's a funny picture, because he's showing me this funny picture. So he's making fun of himself or acknowledging that. He also keeps showing me, Joe or Jay. No, I'm sorry. He's Ray, but there's a Joe or a Jay. Because he's acknowledging that name or that he's referencing that. So he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, he is apologizing to you. I don't know because he didn't let you in or he was keeping some things from you, but he's apologizing to you, but he also lets you know that he loves you. He also says that y'all were not meant to be together forever. So he now understands that that was supposed to happen the way it did. So y'all were not meant to be together forever. So he's acknowledging that as well. He also keeps referencing, I keep seeing a Christmas tree. So I don't know if there's a picture or there's something that would go on a Christmas tree that would be connected to him, but he's referencing something on the tree or a representation of him in that way. He also is showing me like, I keep seeing the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if he was a big Dallas Cowboys fan or there's something about like the blue star or the silver star and the Dallas Cowboys, but he's showing me that. So there's something there he's trying to signify. Okay. He wants to let the family know that he is okay and that he's at peace. And also he's kind of blaming himself for his own passing. So he must have either contributed in some way or he must have actually brought about his own passing, but he's acknowledging that as well. Keniara, I hope I say it right. Keniara, Haley, do you see my current relationship going far? I feel like all of the potential is there. I feel like in a couple of years, maybe not right now. This year, y'all may feel a little bit of a back and forthness, so that's something that y'all may have to work through. Next year, there may actually be a really big like period of growth for the relationship. And so next year, it's all about learning to understand each other and respect each other, even if you don't agree with each other. So there's a lot of that energy around that next year. I mean, it doesn't feel bad. I mean, people usually don't put that much energy into a relationship unless it's going to be something long-term. So I would say that right now I feel about 80% that this might turn into a long-term relationship, but you need to be patient because you might be expecting too much too quickly and you need to give this person a chance to acclimate because you might be a very, very, very you have a lot of expectations and you kind of need to let this person just be who they need to be instead of trying to, figure out what you want and then trying to be that. That's not going to work. So you need to respect where they are at this time in their lives. Crystal S. Lopez. Hi, Ferny. Can you tell me the name of my next lover? I believe it is with an M. I don't know if you're straight or gay, but I believe it is with an M. I want to say that it almost looks like it almost feels like a Mike, M-I-C-H. So it might be a Michael or a Mickey or a Mika, but it sounds like an M-I sounding name. Lisbeth Ochoa. Hello, do you have any messages for me from my grandma Cuca? Yeah, I keep seeing tortillas. So I don't know if your grandma used to make tortillas or she used to make the flat bread or tortillas, but I'm seeing something like that. But I almost feel like I'm making this or I know how to make this. And it reminds me because I know how to make tortillas and I'm going to be making tortillas soon because there's nothing like homemade tortillas in my opinion. I know how to make them because my mom taught me how to make them. So that's where I got it from. And then my mom was a lazy cook. Like she didn't come up with her own unique recipes. She would buy like the packets of McCormick that had the like sauce, the salsa mix in it. It's like she used stuff like that. But nonetheless, when she did make homemade like stuff, it was still homemade stuff by mom. She used to buy like the harina, the flour that was made, like already came packaged and prepared. All you have to do is add water and mix it and make the tortillas. So that's how I learned how to make tortillas. But my uncle, he had a maid and she knew how to make like from scratch tortillas, and she used to use lard and all that other stuff. So I took her recipe and I made it vegan and I started making the tortillas her way because they were from scratch, and I used to mix in like whole grains and wheat and etc. But I love homemade tortillas. There's nothing like smell of like a stack of like all those tortillas, and you want to go and you want to grab a tortilla and you want to put a little bit of butter, or you want to put, if it's flour, you put a little bit of butter and then you just like, and then the butter drips all, like that's the best tortilla experience ever, with fresh homemade tortillas, that is. Chris Benya, she's like, Fernie, come to Houston. Hell no, I ain't going to Houston. Everybody's got, everybody's got the herpes in Houston. I ain't going over there with all of this craziness going on there. um, let's see. I gotta bounce around here because I'm trying to find. Okay, Tammy Souza. Hello, Fernie. You're amazing. I heard back from the lawyer regarding my case. Is still in negotiations. Do you see it going my way? And if yes, any idea when? Stay healthy. Yeah, I think it'll go your way. I think that there will be a first attempted deal or agreement, and there's a second attempted agreement. But I think it's going to end up going your way anyways, because the first attempted agreement may be based around certain factors that are not going to be able to be used in the situation or in the way that this is going to be handled. So I think that you will come to some sort of arrangement or agreement. I do think you'll get what you need from it, probably before August. So it may just take a little while longer. Hey, Paula. Jen Lopez. Hi, Fernando. Do you see me having a baby soon? I'm not seeing baby energy around you, Jen Lopez, until next November 2021. So it might not be until next year of 2021. Amy E. Cooper. Hi, Fernie. Is the next step we take for my father-in-law the right one? I feel like that might be the only step. I feel like, not, I feel like doing the opposite of that would is not the way to go. So I'm in agreement with everybody on it, but I feel that, I think it's the right direction to go with. If y'all wait or don't do it, things may actually get worse, or it may actually get a little bit more complicated. So I think what y'all are going to do is the right direction. Amber on Angel's Mama Jacobs. Okay. Hi, Fernie. I've met a new guy. Do you see things going good with him? His name is George. Yeah, he might be a little scatterbrained, and he may also not be good at returning calls or getting back right away. You may not notice that right now, but give it a little while. That may change. I would just be patient. They just may need time, and they may need to learn how to be better communicators. So I would just give them some time. So it has potential. Pat Jacobs, I know I already answered your question, but as I saw your name, your son kept showing me Roger Rabbit. I don't know if there's a connection to Roger Rabbit or rabbits or Roger is significant, but I just saw Roger Rabbit in my head. Kaylin Jorgensen. Who are my spirit guides? I'm looking for employment. Do you see when or where or what field I will get a job in? I actually think it's going to be connected to marketing or marketing and advertising, but you may not have the background to support that kind of a role, but you might be able to use your skills in an area of that nature. I think it's going to be a job you probably will get through some sort of a headhunter, meaning that somebody sees your resume online and then they offer you the job. I also think you're going to have to know a lot about computers or a lot about databases, because I feel like that's going to come into play there as well. I would put it into a time frame of within 4 to 6 months. I know that sounds like a long time, but that's what I'm seeing. So you might just need to be prepared for the long haul with that. Okay. Marie Sanchez. Any messages from my daughter, please? And do you see me having a son anytime soon? I am seeing a baby. It may not be a son. I feel like you probably might have another child. It might actually be a girl. And I would say this is probably going to be 1 year and 8 months. So you might start to see some baby energy for you around that 1 year, 8 month mark, which would probably take us into early 2022, is what I'm thinking. And what do you say? Any messages from your daughter? She's showing me her hand, so you might have her handprint, or you might have a picture of her with your hands together, because she's showing me that. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, and she doesn't want you to blame yourself and to continue to feel like you should have prevented this, because she doesn't want you to feel that way. She also keeps showing me like a jump rope, or like I feel like I'm playing with a string and I'm like moving the string around. Like it almost reminds me of like a cat toy when you have the cat toys in the string. I feel like I'm doing this with a string. She's doing that. So there's something there that she's acknowledging or making reference to. She also keeps acknowledging a necklace or something that has a name tag on it as well, whether it's a necklace or it's a this as well, but I'm seeing it in that way. Also, someone might get a tattoo for her, or someone is planning on getting a tattoo, but she's acknowledging that as well. Okay. Okay. Tyalisha. I hope I said it right, Tylisha. Harris. Hey, Ferny, is there any guidance with my love life? Is this going right? And am I going the right direction as far as choosing my career? Thank you. As far as your career is concerned, there's 2 steps in your process. And so the current step that you're on, I think you're going in the right direction, but there's going to be a shift or a change in about 6 or 7 months. So you might need to be prepared for a big shift there, which might line you up better with better options. As far as your love life is concerned, I feel like you need to set your boundaries and you need to stick to them. Don't make excuses for other people, because I feel like that's going to set you up for a lot of disappointment, and it's going to condition people to be that way with you. So you need to set those boundaries and make it very clear about what you need and what you don't need and what you're not going to put up with, because I feel like you're not doing enough of that. Tammy Kolunga, please pick me. Any messages from my dad? I'm hearing happy birthday in my head. So either we are around a birthday within 30 days, or we just passed a birthday. But I'm hearing about happy birthday. Now, if it's not right now, when he passed, that may be what he's referencing. But he's acknowledging the birthday, because I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing balloons. Sometimes that means that people release balloons for this person, or that also means, which for me was happy birthday, but it may actually be both in this case. I also keep seeing a cake. I don't know if you got him a cake or a cupcake, and there's a picture of him with the cake or the little cupcake, and he's blowing it, but he's showing me an image of him like this as well. He may not have been able to eat the cake though, or he wasn't able to like eat or whatever. It was more like a symbolic gesture. It may not have been him being able to eat it, because he's acknowledging that as well. He also is showing me a pinky, so there's either a pinky joke or a pinky swear, or there's something making fun of like the pinky, because he's doing that as well. He also makes me feel there's no place like home. I keep thinking of like, there's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home. So he's almost acknowledging that as well. He's showing me a candle also. If you light a candle for him, or you think of him every day when you light his candle, he's acknowledging this candle, because there's a reference there as well. He also, thank you. If you were to go into a vehicle and you pull the mirror, or what is it, the thing down, or the mirror down, he's doing something with this. So I don't know if the visor in your car is broken and you need to get it fixed because it keeps acting crazy, or there's something that's connected to your dad that he's wanting to get my attention about with this visor in the vehicle. So just FYI with that. That's my song, girl. That's my song. Ana Sanchez Flores. Hi, Ferny, do you have any messages for my little brother? He passed in July 2019, and I miss him so much. Also, how do you see me grow and my current job? Okay, so let's talk about your brother, because that's the priority. He's doing this. So I don't know if you have his games or his video games, or y'all have his controllers, or something weird happened recently with the video games or the controllers, but he's acknowledging that. He also keeps talking about the beep beep or the beep beep or the beep beep. So there might be a joke around making beep beep or beep beep, or there's something like that because he's making a gesture or a sound for me. He's also doing this. So I don't know if y'all made shirts for him or if y'all have a shirt of his that y'all, is special and y'all did something with it. But he's doing this. So there's a reference to his shirt. So he's acknowledging that as well. He's showing me a necklace, but I'm seeing 4 or 5 different versions of this. So I don't know if y'all all made different necklaces and y'all gave them away as gifts, but he's referencing this and I'm seeing 4 or 5 versions of this. So he's acknowledging that as well. He's also drawing. Someone may have written him a letter or text him and he got the message, but I also think someone may have gotten a tattoo times 3. So he's talking about 3 separate tattoos or 3 separate art pieces that are connected to him as well. He's also making fun of himself, and there's a picture of him where only half of his face is showing. So it's almost like I feel like I can only see half his face. So there might be a picture or an image of him that he's doing that as well. He also keeps doing this. Like I'm trying to snap my fingers, but I can't snap, or I can't make the snap sound, but I'm making a joke about snapping my fingers. So there's something there that he's also acknowledging or making a joke about. Also, I don't know if y'all used to go to Sonic. What I'm reminded of is back in the day when I used to have a Sonic near me and we used to go get those big slushies or whatever, and we're sitting there with the slushies. He's showing me something like that. So if y'all ever would go and do the Sonic slushies or the slushies and watch TV together, he's acknowledging these memories and these times together. Okay. Jennifer Gamage Schaefer. Hi, Ferny. What can you tell me about my psychic abilities and or past life? So it just depends because everybody is people believe that only some people have unique abilities or we have special abilities because we're special people. Everybody has psychic ability. Everybody. Period. It's almost like a digestive system. Everybody has a digestive system. Some people's digestive systems are more sensitive. Some people's a little bit not so much. So it's the same thing with psychic ability. Everybody has psychic ability. However, I do feel that you might have more of a leaning towards empathy or being an empath, because I feel like you're more emotionally sensitive. But the problem with emotionally sensitive people is that they tend to be very high strung, or they can also be the most difficult people to deal with. So if you find yourself being difficult, or you find yourself just struggling with connections with people, part of it may be because you're picking up on too much energy and you're trying to protect yourself by your reaction or the way you're dealing with situations. But it is something to work on. I offer a free psychic development class. It's on YouTube. You can get there through my website. Just go down to classes and then click it, and then it's going to tell you right there, free psychic development class. It's a 2.5-hour class. I literally designed this class for people who want to take their psychic abilities seriously. It's not just, I decided to do a class for the hell of it. No, like this is real. It took me a year to make this class. So for me to offer it for free, like you best damn believe it's significant and important. So take that class because it'll help you develop your psychic abilities. That's a start. After that, you can approach that from different perspectives. I offer one-on-one coaching for people who are serious about psychic development as well, especially for people who want to turn this into a business. I'm actually going to be offering another coaching service for people who want to be professional psychics, and I'm going to teach them how to be not just a professional psychic, but try to get to the level of success that I have been able to achieve myself. So I want to give people the opportunity to do that as well. But take the psychic class. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's not going to cost you anything. It's totally worth it, and you'll get more from that one class than reading 5 or 6 of the top books that are sold today. So just FYI, check it out. Susan Harris Kramer. Hi, Ferny. How are you? Is my father visiting me at night? I feel the presence of someone leaning on my mattress. I would say yes, but you also have a psychic ability, and you actually may be a medium as well. You might want to look into developing this. Even if you decide not to do this on a professional level, it's just important to have those skills and to build up that ability, because it may come in handy. But you may start off by using it towards like healing arts, like psychic healing or Reiki healing, etc. So I would push you in that direction. But yes, I think that the person coming around you at night is your father. But I also see an animal on the bed as well. I want to say it's a cat. So there might have been a cat at some point in your life that comes around and kind of lays with you at night when you're sleeping. Okay. Stephanie Soto. When am I going to meet a genuine man with pure intentions to actually settle down with long term? I believe that you are going to have 2, if not 3 separate opportunities to settle down. But I feel like you've already gone through the first one. So the first option may have already come and gone. It doesn't mean that every opportunity is going to work. It just means there's opportunities, right? So you might be coming into a second one within the next 4 years. It's not right away. I'm sorry, it's not right away. But I think within 4 years, you might have another person come in. The person's name is Joseph. They may go by Joey, but I think it's Joseph. I also think that they work in a body shop, or they work with the cars when they're painted, or they make adjustments to vehicles. But it's not for like a big garage, like a car dealership. It's more like a small business that they're a part of as well. And I feel like they do very well financially, but they aren't always the smartest with the way they spend their money. So they may need you to come in and help them with that process. I also feel that this person is a little bit shorter and stocky. So he may not be this tall guy, but I feel like he's got a shorter, stocky build to him as well. He's really sweet. He's cute. He's got one dimple on one cheek. So look out for that. But that's within 4 years. Okay. All right, guys, that is it. I think I'm used up for today. So I love you all. Check out my website if you want to know more about what I do. But feel free to like and comment afterwards. If you received a reading, you're going to see a post, comment, and share what your experience was like and what message, how you connected to the message. Please share so that we can give other people the opportunity to read as well. But I've got a lot of more free stuff coming down the line, so just be patient. Besides the 2 lives that I do weekly, I'm going to be offering a lot of other things for free for you guys who may need the break. Okay, I love you all, and I will see you Friday. Okay, talk to you then. Bye bye.